They say a week is a long time in politics, sport, you name it. Throw national security in there as well. Last week, we sat here wondering whether US Speaker Nancy Pelosi's plane would be shot out of the sky. China had threatened such action if a trip to Taipei went ahead. Well, it did, and whilst Pelosi got out safely, missiles are being fired over Taiwan into Japanese waters.
Well, Taiwan is strongly condemning China for carrying out military exercises and launching missiles into the waters around the island.
It's unprecedented. Taiwan's accused China of simulating an attack on its main island. If it weren't so serious, I'd say, you think? We're at crisis point. And when I say we, I mean the world. Foreign Minister Penny Wong has condemned Beijing, for what it's worth. Her US counterpart has too.
The Speaker's visit was peaceful. There is no justification for this extreme, disproportionate, and escalatory military response.
Oh no, sir. China has come out today, taken aim at the trio of finger-pointing nations, including Australia. And they have revealed that they are actually the victims here of US provocation, of course. What about Pelosi? Well, you might not think much of her politics, but you've got to admire her front.
They may try to keep Taiwan from visiting or participating in other places, but they will not isolate Taiwan by preventing us to travel there.
Some are saying that China are all talk and no real action. That could turn out to be a very dangerous assumption. And talking about dangerous, the US administration's complete lack of clarity when it comes to their position on Taiwan and China. The US president has said that if China acted militarily, then his country would intervene on behalf of Taiwan. And yes, it's almost textbook now. The White House did try and walk those comments back. But what does it actually mean? Does America have any idea what it will do if our worst nightmare eventuates? I mean, look at Ukraine. For obvious reasons, no one is sending their troops in. US Congressman Steve Chabot says it's time for the states to move from strategic ambiguity to strategic clarity. In other words, it's time for them to have a formal military alliance with Taiwan.
I think it's somewhat dangerous when you have ambiguity. You're not clear whether or not we would stand with Taiwan or not. I think if China knows that we and our allies, probably Japan, Australia and others, would stand with Taiwan, I think military confrontation, war, is much less likely to happen.
Australia, huh? America would expect the support of its allies. This ain't going to be a sit back and watch kind of war like Ukraine. The US is weak and divided right now, not just on Nancy Pelosi's visit, but on almost everything that matters. Yet we need them to defend us if something goes wrong. They couldn't even defend themselves right now. Not just my thoughts, but those of the man who developed their national defence strategy. Elbridge Colby will join me shortly. Now, this all occurring as our government this week announced a review into our defence forces, appointing the same person who was responsible for some of the biggest budget cuts we've ever seen, despite admitting this.
To defend ourselves in the most complex strategic environment we've encountered as a nation in over 70 years.
OK, so they say they won't cut, but how many times have promises been broken? And in doing this review, with the sole purpose, you'd think, of determining how strong we are militarily, do they have any idea what kind of war we might need to be able to fight? How can anyone come up with an answer if they don't know what the question is? Shortly, I'll take you through the chilling, and it is chilling, scenario Senator Jim Molan believes could signal the start of the next world war. It will happen while we sleep, and it will happen to us right here. You need to hear this because ignorance won't save any of us. Only knowledge, strength, and enough bravery to do what's required. And to do it quickly. Only that will give us any chance of survival.